Okay, good. So I'd like to open the meeting, the October 10th meeting of the Littleton Board of Health. It is 7:10, so we're a little bit late. We've got 5 minutes before the first agenda item. So I will open it up first to any board member reports. Okay. Anything going on? Nothing going on, so we do need to, go ahead.
I'd like to make a motion. First of all, I think what I was told, we should be able to appoint 3 individuals.
Exactly what I was gonna say, so,
Yeah,
yep.
and
So
the
if we
name
can-
is Boyle, Potts, Gail, Del Ruzzo, and John with a P-A-C-H-Y, Peachy, or Peachy?
Could be Peachy.
Okay. Appoint to Littleton Volunteer Corps and Medical Reserve Corps, and I think the fire department will do the rest,
Okay,
okay?
so Gino, motions?
Yeah, I made a motion.
I'll second that.
Okay, all in favor of Potts, Deruzzo, and, did I say that, Prince?
Yes, you did,
And
right.
Peachy is, appointed to the Littleton Volunteer Corps.
Yeah.
All in favor of that, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
All right, unanimous carry, okay. Anything else on board member reports?
I don't have anything else that, at the moment.
Okay. So I did not see in the things that Shelley forwarded on draft minutes. Did you guys?
No minutes.
No, I did
Right.
not see that.
Okay, so we can bypass that.
Yeah,
If no other updates,
right. I think it's the first,
so, well, we give it a couple more minutes.
yeah. Oh, he's like a German.
What
Point.
is first on the agenda? Is it Christine?
Yes, it's Christina Street, yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna pull up the stuff here, but I have to.
Is that, are you here for Christina Street? Okay, we'll give it just another couple minutes to get to 7:15 and then,
He's got Christine and one's 5-6 Hardwood Avenue.
so we'll see, you know, we can take care of this offline, we'll give it, but at the end, if we have some time, quickly review schedules over the next month again to make
No
sure
problem.
that we have
Yeah.
what we're gonna need for our meetings. I know I'm gone
No
the
problem.
next 2 meetings,
All right.
the next 2 scheduled meetings anyway.
Which will be what days?
The 24th
Yeah.
of October,
Yeah.
and I think it's the 8th of November, or something
Okay.
like that.
And strangely, I'll be back the 7th of November. Be out of town.
It's actually the 7th of November, not the 8th of November.
Yeah.
No, 14th.
Oh,
14th of November
Oh.
is the 2nd, is
Oh.
the second Tuesday of November.
Okay.
I'll be gone for that,
Okay, I'll be, anyway.
so I'm gone the next 2. But anyway, we'll take care of that at the end, we'll sort of review it. All right, it's 7:15, so I'd like to open the hearing for 20 Christina Street.
Would you please approach?
Sure.
Hello.
You can sit down.
I'm Kevin Ritchie from Civil Solutions.
And I'm sure you have a map there for us.
I do have a plan, I have some, would you like to collect these as well?
No problem. Just leave it there. We'll give it to Shelley.
Okay, is she coming in later?
No, she.
No, we'll make sure we get
Tomorrow.
Those are the certifieds for the butters.
Mhm.
Let's see what I got. 20 Christina, it's in the process of, it's an estate, it's in the process of being sold. Had a Title V inspection, failed due to the system being in the groundwater. So Christina Street, the existing system's here in the backyard.
Right.
The the lay of the land, kind of the highest point at all, kind of gently slopes down, down Christina.
Anybody nearby?
So there's a house over here,
Okay.
there's houses in the back. There's a house here, it's like a group family home, kind of, I think, maybe handicapped home,
Okay.
housing, so there's nothing, nobody here, it's just parking. Comes up to the house in the back.
So the water will impact the neighbors, anything?
Nope.
Okay,
These people have all been notified as well.
okay.
So, a couple of test holes, we had groundwater at 32 inches and 42 inches. There's a little bit of fill on the surface to kind of artificially suppressing the water
Groundwater or
table.
modeling?
Modeling.
Yeah.
I think they were both dry. Yeah, they were both the holes are dry. So we've got a new 2-compartment, 1,500-gallon septic tank.
How many?
2-compartment,
Oh, okay.
1,500-gallon, 1,000-gallon pump chamber, and then a field of Presby.
Okay.
Obviously, the system's pretty large. We're asking for 2 variances. One, we're using a variance for the,
From 4 to 2?
from the fill to the lot line being less than 10 feet.
Okay.
And then we're asking for the approval to use the Presby with the 2-foot groundwater offset. Without the groundwater offset, you can see the system's elevated as it is.
Yeah.
Would require a retaining wall around a minimum of 2 sides.
Without the offset, yeah.
Yes, correct, yeah.
Any questions before I read Jim's
No,
comments
you
back?
go ahead and read if you want. I have no question. As long,
I don't have any questions.
No
on that.
as
questions,
long as
okay.
anybody have any problem.
So Jim's comments back as he's reviewed the plans for the replacement of the failed system on the lot. Soil testing was conducted and the site conditions present challenges. The installation of a system in full compliance with Title V and Littleton regulations because of high seasonal groundwater, high perk rate, small lot. The applicant is requesting reduction of the groundwater offset as part of the design from 4 foot to 2, which is allowed by DEP because of the Presby system, and relief of our regulations to allow fill to be placed within 10 feet of the lot line. He says, I don't have an issue with the request. The offset reduction will minimize the grading towards the house and the abutters, and because the area is served by town water. Do we have an abutter here?
I have a letter, not a direct abutter, I'm diagonal to the Wright's property.
Okay, come on up.
You wanna
and
read the
announce your
letter?
name.
I'm sorry?
You can come on up and have a seat if you want and announce your name, so we have it on record.
Okay. I'm Charles Specht, I'm at 15 Loxley Street,
Okay?
Loxley Road.
Okay, and so you said you have a letter from?
So
an
he would have
abutter?
probably been notified by certified mail
I was.
of the hearing
surprised.
tonight.
Thank you for coming.
Okay.
That's a letter from us.
So that's just a
basically
list, so-
informing
Yep.
him of tonight's hearing.
Okay,
So you have any
Okay.
objection?
you have any questions on this?
I have questions.
Yeah.
If I can,
Please.
what is the height of the system gonna be? Because I know what it is right now.
Yeah, so it's being elevated above what's there now.
How much?
So let's see, the finish grade over the system is 100.5. The lot kind of slopes back a little bit. So up around the house, it's, in this area here, it's roughly 1.5 feet in that range.
I'm right here,
You're right, okay.
I'm in this-
Yep.
this corner.
So the 105, the grade over at 97 here, so at the worst point, it's about 3 feet, 3.5 feet in this lower corner.
And you're planning on putting in Jersey barriers or?
No, we're not, we're proposing no retaining wall.
No retaining walls, okay.
And
So
the
it's
reason-
not
So
natural
it'll all be grass slope, no retaining wall on this particular
No
one.
water will go to your area.
Okay, that's all I'm concerned about, because we do get pooling in our backyard in this corner
So what's,
in
so,
heavy rain, so
But
it
it's nothing to do-
percolates through and
Right.
drains out over time.
Yeah.
Usually,
But
comes
it's
in the
nothing to do
spring.
with that.
well, let's address that. So, given this, what's the impact on that?
So the The finished surface will be still grass, so we're not increasing any of the impervious surfaces.
Right.
All the drainage on the site kind of runs to this corner now, and it'll continue to run there.
Okay. That was all my
Yeah,
concern.
no, we're not shedding any water.
Yeah.
We're basically kind of working on the downhill slope of the system to try to get it to fit into the grading of the lot as best we could.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Obviously, if we went to this side, it would be that much higher,
Right, right.
and then we'd be fighting the grade over here. At least this
Sure.
way, we've got a little something here to grade into.
Okay,
Because the grade goes this way.
It kind of all runs down,
To the west.
down the street, yeah.
So the water that you're gonna have, you're always gonna have it,
I know.
but as
I
long
didn't,
as it doesn't
I
come
didn't
from
get
there.
it worse.
You don't want to make
It's
it
good to
worse.
check.
No, that was my
Good question.
concern, because, well, it's a little bit off topic, but we do have people on the other side of Jennifer Street who've
right.
built considerable mounds.
Right.
There's another mound next to Casanari's, which is about 4 or 5 feet
Yeah,
high.
yeah.
We found an impact on our basement with these large mounds going in,
Yeah, yeah.
affecting the groundwater.
Do they have retaining walls?
No, they're just big mounds,
Yeah,
so that puts pressure.
Right, right,
Yeah.
right.
that's why we give the variances, so they don't have to come up as high.
Yeah, good.
You know, there's plenty of walls in the neighborhood.
I know. Thank you.
okay, that's
Thank you
it.
for
All right,
Appreciate it.
great.
Yeah.
All right.
Double clarification.
Nope, good, I'm glad you
Make a
came,
motion
thank
to
you.
approve.
Thanks.
Okay.
So, would someone
Bonnie,
like to make motions?
We did,
Sure.
Someone want to read them out?
okay. Want to read them out?
Where's the?
Right here.
Is required, okay. So this is based on 20 Christina Street, sewage disposal system plan by Civil Solutions, Inc., dated 9/20/17. Approval is requested from the Littleton Board of Health to allow a reduction in the requisite groundwater offset from 4 feet to 2 feet with the use of the Presby Enviroseptic leaching system. And number 2, a variance is hereby requested from Littleton Board of Health Regulation 27 to allow fill required to meet minimum breakout grading requirements within 10 feet of a property line. So I'll move to
I s-
approve that.
I second.
Okay, no further discussion, all in favor of approving these variances as written and as stated, say aye.
Aye, aye,
Aye.
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 All
aye.
opposed? Okay, unanimously approved, thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks.
All right, give it the next one. 156. What's the other one?
All right, actually, I just found the
Did you
agenda.
wrote it down this time?
Yep.
What's the other one?
And, okay, are we at, so perfect, still on time, 3:25, so I'd like to close the hearing on 20 Christina Street and open the hearing for 156 Harwood.
Sewage disposal,
Do we have anybody here for 156 Harwood?
no? Oh, I don't know. But he's got his own,
That's it. Is that it?
I don't know something else.
I think he is, the countryside road. A gentleman over there.
Yeah, that's fine.
Is he working for me?
This is another Title V failure.
Yeah.
Again, I'm Kevin Ritchie, Civil Solutions. and,
They did some improvement in that particular house, am I correct?
Yeah, it's the red brick house with the red trim almost at the
Right,
top of the
right,
hill there.
Right,
Yeah.
right, yeah.
They've been working on it for a while
Yeah,
now.
nice home too.
Yeah,
yeah.
I think it had quite a few,
What happened to
maybe
the
rental
owner?
units, I guess, were in there.
What happened to the owner? Say die or something? Or he decided to sell? Because I used to know.
I'm
him.
not sure, I think he was sick.
He was
I know he was sick, so I don't know
Okay,
what happened to him.
yeah, I haven't seen him for a long time.
Yeah, no, I think this must have been a foreclosure.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
I take that back. I'm not sure about that.
Because the house was already paid for and everything,
Yeah, no, I don't,
Yeah, it was for sale. I don't know.
yeah. And-
All right.
I'm not sure what happened on
Yeah.
that.
Yeah,
But it did have a Title V inspection, was in failure. I don't think, I think it was just.
A cesspool? That's where-
There is a
that's where
cesspool
it
on the
goes.
site.
yeah,
Uh,
but they put a new.
So it's in the existing
Multiple.
four-bedroom with a garage.
Yeah.
It's got plumbing in the basement that goes out the side to the existing cesspool. That would be in the groundwater. Then there's newer septic tank in the backyard there now was replaced, I think, 4 or 5 years ago. And that goes to some kind of system here in the backyard. There is some ledge on the lot, some sticking out in different areas. There's some large mature trees around here. Kind of a garden area here. So we dig 4 test holes just to try to,
It's a nice
it's
location.
a nice big lot, so we tried to give ourselves a little bit of flexibility.
Yeah. I live in Harvard Avenue, so I
And
go
you're
by
down the
there.
bottom there, right?
Yeah, every day.
No ledge where you are.
Oh. I'm very lucky.
So we dug the 3 holes across the back, they were all fine. As we moved up towards the front to see if we could take advantage of putting the system over here on this slope, we started to run out of soil. So the depth of soil was much better here in the back. We had groundwater at 3 feet consistently in all the holes.
Water?
Modeling.
Where's the property boundary on the back there?
So the boundary goes back, there's a little shed back here a little further.
Okay.
So you're going
I was just
from-
wondering how much room
Yeah,
there
no,
was.
so there's more room in the back.
So you go from 4 to 3, huh?
So if there's more room in the back,
Some wetlands further in the
Is
very,
it-
in the
do-
very
do
back, so we
we-
tried to stay off
yeah,
of
you're
those as
getting,
well.
you're
Ah.
encroaching on the wetland.
Oh, okay.
Okay, all right, that was,
Yeah, that's good to know.
that was the first. Okay,
Yeah, I know, because they kept thinking, do we go back, do we go back? It's, so on this particular one, we're reusing the septic tank here for the upstairs portion, new 1,500 gallon 2-compartment down here. Because this comes out under the floor, there's no way we can get away without using a pump someplace. Homeowner preferred to have the pump on the exterior rather than in the basement. So we're running it down here to another pump chamber, and then lifting it up to a field of Presby in this area here. We are asking.
So nobody lives there now?
It's empty right now, yes.
And so how many bedrooms is this for?
So it's 4.
Okay, and it's
It's staying.
designed for 4?
It's designed for 4, yeah.
Yeah.
I think Jim had talked to the homeowner. It wasn't, like I said, it was a rental, and it seemed like it had, I don't know how many bedrooms, I
Yeah.
guess. I think more than
Big
4,
parking-
maybe.
parking area.
Yes, extremely large.
Yeah.
And I think Jim has worked that out with the new homeowner, that it is a 4-bedroom. I
That's
believe
it.
they had an old permit showing it as a 4.
Okay.
Right, right.
And everybody's come to an agreement that, yes, it is a 4. It's not gonna be any more than that.
yep.
That's good.
So it's an
That's-
exist.
that's good.
Yeah, no, it's an existing
they
4, it's gonna
agreed.
stay as a 4.
Okay.
Okay,
So we're asking to reduce the groundwater offset by a
All
foot
right.
on this
From
particular.
4 to 3.
so,
3, yes.
let me, hello,
So, wait, is this the meeting room
Board of Health?
for a public hearing?
yep, for which property?
To Countryside Road, is it?
That's the next agenda item, so if you want to take a seat, we'll be calling that open when we're finished with this one.
All right, thank you.
Sure. So, let me read what Jim said about this. So this, for 156 Harwood, this septic system for this site is failed Title V. Soil testing was conducted. Area of shallow depth to ledge and high seasonal water table were noted. An applicant is proposing to install Presby in the back of the house in an effort to minimize the effect on grading. The applicant is requesting reduction of the groundwater offset from 4 to 3 for the leaching area. I don't have a problem with this, as it's served by town water, and the proposed system will replace the existing cesspools serving the property. So, pretty straightforward, it sounds. Any further questions?
No, no problem.
Someone like to make a motion?
Motion to accept?
Well, let's officially read the,
I can read it, or you can, either way.
Okay. You wanna do it, you want me to do it?
That easier?
All right. You be-
156 Harwood Avenue, Littleton, Mass. Plan dated 9/20/17. And the approval is sought from the Littleton Board of Health to allow for reduction in the groundwater offset from 4 feet to 3 feet with the use of the Presby Enviroseptic wastewater treatment system. I just want to make sure that's consistent with the plan. Yep. And I'll make a motion to accept that.
Okay, second it.
okay, further questions? All right, hearing none. All in favor of, we'll settle down.
Well,
This
I'm
is like
quick.
the little bit I have of power here. Give
I
me
know.
my time on
You say
stage.
one thing, I right away say
You
yes.
gotta wait. All in favor of approving the variances and the motion as written and as stated, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? All right, variances are unanimously approved.
Okay, thank you.
That's it.
Thank you. And I'll close this discussion on 156 Harwood, and open, we're only a minute behind, so that's good. Open the public hearing on 2 Countryside Road. Let's see.
Again, I'm Kevin Ritchie from Civil Solutions. I'm here on behalf of Pankaj Sharma, the owner of 2 Countryside Road. This particular house, he'd like to increase the flow from 3 bedrooms to 4 bedrooms. So the existing system that he has there now, he did not have a Title V inspection done on it. Because of the increase in flow,
So you're gonna change your septic system?
yes, so instead of
Get-
reusing the existing one or looking at it,
Right.
he knew he had to upgrade the system to increase the
Right.
flow.
So we don't know if it's in compliance at this point or not?
What if it increases?
I guess I would say it is in compliance for
Because-
for the purposes of a 3-bedroom, but for him to increase to 4-bedroom, no, it's not.
Okay,
Yes, it says
Does that
right
make
here.
sense?
It says right here.
So,
Jimmy don't have a problem with it.
he's on a well. The area is serviced by private wells.
Okay.
He's got just over 40,000 square feet, so he is limited to, this lot is limited to 4 bedrooms. I think he initially was inquiring whether he could get to 5, and with the 40,000 square feet in the well on the same lot with a septic system, he's limited to the 4 bedrooms.
Okay.
So the lot is considered nitrogen sensitive. So currently, he's got an existing, let me back up. So the lot, high point, slopes considerably from the back towards the front,
Toward the
down the
house and
countryside,
towards
yeah. So the house is set up quite a bit above the roadway, 12, 14 feet, I guess. So the well's in the backyard, 100-foot well arc comes just to the front of the house. He's got an existing septic tank here, leaching area here.
And is that on the other side from Fort Pond, the other side?
Yeah, so Countryside is some houses here, and then
And then Fort Pond is back
is down
over here.
here, yes. Newtown Road is one lot here, and then Newtown Road.
how much are you increasing the grade?
Yeah,
from
so
the-
this one again is another Presby. There's no groundwater offset reduction. It's basically, it's considered new construction, so we can't really ask for that.
So,
The reason we went with the Presby is because of the steep slope, and the Presby allows us to basically run parallel with the slope.
are you increasing the grade from the current grade, surface elevation?
Yes and no. So up in this area here, it's remaining flat. Then we've got the slope, so we've got the area by the house and the slope here. We're kind of taking this and pushing it out, so the old grade's back here, the new.
So you are adding fill to the
Yes, yeah,
top?
yeah, okay.
It's
And
not
so you
changing the
need to come
surface.
closer to the property
Yes,
boundary
yes, yeah.
to allow the fill.
Right.
And how big is the lot total?
So the lot's 42,000 square feet.
What's that in?
It's
It's
just over
almost
an
an
acre, or it's technically,
An
it's just
acre is-
under a true acre, but it's.
2 acres,
40
45.
Yeah, 43,560.
So it's a little, but it's an odd shape lot.
Yeah, no, it's, yes.
While it's an acre, it's a weird pie shape, and even skinnier than normal for a
Right.
pie shape, so.
I find this a little difficult because Jim's agreeing with it, and I understand why. But then I don't know, how you guys feel. Do you feel like this is a precedent? Because it would be providing a variance to increase from
from
the
3 to 4?
current, yeah.
So so it's an excellent question. Let me read what Jim said.
Yeah.
And then, the applicant would like to have the ability to increase the bedroom capacity of his existing home from 3 to 4. Though a suitable location was found for the replacement system, the site challenges, well location primarily, water table and the sloping ground will require a variance for your regulations with regards to fill within 10 feet of the lot line. The proposed design is in compliance with Title V and otherwise complies with your regulations. I don't have an issue with the request, as the proposed grading should not significantly change surface runoff of the area where the septic system is proposed. So that's Jim's perspective.
Yeah.
My perspective is, primarily, is if it meets Title V, and if what we're talking about is fill the lot line, I'm probably gonna be comfortable with that.
We just have to make sure that we're consistent. And
Yeah.
I'm trying to go through, we've had it come up a few times recently. I'm trying to kind of parse it out in my brain,
Like the 7 to 6?
how it was,
Remember when the lady wanted to have it?
yeah, and I just want to make sure we're consistent.
Yeah, we tried to make the
And
best.
so basically, what we've been doing is if it's a new build, we don't grant a variance
He's not asking
for-
for a variance.
I know, I'm just going over kind of consistent-wise what we've been doing so far.
Well, new construction doesn't come to us. I mean, this is,
Everything would. Every septic plan
Well-
would come through you guys.
Well, I
Well-
mean, if it had a variance on, right,
Yes.
because we don't do variances for new
New
construction.
construction,
Right.
right.
And then if we have a home that's permitted for a 3-bedroom and they want to go to 4, we typically don't provide a variance
Unless they change the
to
system.
go from 3 to 4. They have
unless
to
they,
go,
unless they increase the system
system,
size
yeah.
to do that. We
Right.
haven't allowed them to change the bedroom number if
Without-
they're not changing the
Right,
system
Without
size.
changing the system.
well, we typically don't provide a variance if they're upgrading, they're increasing the
don't-
number of bedrooms.
I don't remember us addressing something like this. What I remember, what comes to
Yeah.
my mind, what we do, what we've seen more frequently is people coming and wanting to finish a basement.
Right,
And we put a deed
right,
restriction
because they.
that it's not, it can't be
Is a bedroom
a bedroom.
without
And
changing the
that's what
system.
that's primarily, I don't remember, I mean, I could be,
Yeah, no,
and
I
I
know.
may be
I
misremembering
know
things,
there
but I
was
don't
the
remember.
one with wanting to go up, remember with,
I know what you mean.
you know the one I'm talking
Mhm.
about. What was the location, so we,
It was real near the lake, that's what you're talking about? the one?
no,
No?
it was,
It was in another. area?
Sherry was here.
Well, was that the,
Oh.
And
was
they
that,
wanted,
was
Oh,
that one of them
oh,
that where the
yeah.
deeds were,
Oh, you're talking about the
like
six
permits
bedroom?
seem to have been
yeah, but
written out in the
basically, I
50s
think
and
it
no
was
one
the
could-
same thing, is
That-
that they were saying it was a 6, so they wanted
Yeah.
to provide for a
That's
6.
in Harvard Avenue.
That
The
was in
one you're talking
Foster,
about is
wasn't
in
it?
That's,
Harvard.
that's Foster, but the difference was if I remember right, what the difference was the paper trail was messed up on it.
Yeah, but then they found something
But
that
we didn't
they would
allow,
allow 6, but not 7.
we
Right,
didn't, we
right.
didn't allow them to go to the higher number though.
Right.
Right, but the system wasn't for it,
It
right?
was-
They would have,
It was only good for 6.
it was only good for 6, so that's
Right.
what we limited.
Well,
They didn't come to us and say they wanted to replace the system and put a 7 in.
Right, right. That's why
That's, I
we
think,
say no.
if I
That's
remember
why we
right
say-
on
No,
that
they
one.
did.
No, they said it was they tried to claim that it was a 7, but it wasn't. It was suitable for a 7, but it wasn't.
It was,
That's what
They
my
use it for the in-law. That's why,
Yeah, yeah,
that's
yeah.
why they wanted the extra 2
Because that was the
Right,
one Peter,
right.
right?
Yeah, but he came in, that was a new design, it was a new system.
But anyway.
Was it an upgrade?
I think
Was
it
it
was an
completely
upgrade.
new construction?
It
No,
was an upgrade.
Upgrade, yeah.
And so they wanted the upgrade, so they were saying they wanted it for 6, and that they're, because we only let them go to where their permit was. So
Right.
I think it's parallel to this, because you've got a permit asking for an upgrade with a variance. And so the question comes, we just want to make sure that we're consistent.
Right.
And
I have to go in and take
Well,
a
in
look
the
at
other-
I'm not sure on that one, because this one's fully compliant with Title V.
That's-
Right, I
the
agree
thing.
with you.
And that's, I don't know on that one, but
Yeah,
I
on
would
the
guess
other
they
one-
might have been asking for some.
No, I know, I just want to
That's-
make
they
sure.
were
Yeah, no,
that
and I
we're
don't want to tell you because
consistent.
I
That's-
wasn't at those
Yeah,
meetings.
so while,
You were at the meetings?
No, it was not at
Yeah.
those.
so while Aaron is looking at this, are there, abutters or the property owner here? Property owner, okay. And butters are for this particular one, right? This is for 2 Countryside Road?
Yes.
Yeah.
At the 235 Utah Road.
Okay, okay. And did you have any questions?
We received a letter, ask us to come.
Okay, so what typically happens is when a design or a replacement, or in this case, an upgrade comes to the board for review, when it becomes, because of open meeting laws, when it gets put on the agenda, all abutters are notified by mail, certified mail, that there's an open hearing for this. You're allowed to come, of course, you're allowed to come to any meeting, but you're allowed to come here. If you have questions, you can ask questions.
We're trying to understand.
Yeah. So if you have any questions, so the long and the short of it is, I think, is there's an interest in increasing bedrooms from 3 to 4. There's a system that's for 3, and they want to upgrade the system to a 4 so they can add that 4th bedroom on there. This,
Be like, I mean, what is it will be extend to our border, over the borderline? Or
no, so the system is completely within Title V, the state compliances, and then typically how these things work is local municipalities or towns will have their own extra sets, and Littleton has a substantial number of regulations related to septic systems. And so typically, something might be in compliance with Title V, but may require additional variances to meet our local regulations. This particular one, because of where they have to do it, and maybe you can explain a little bit better, the way the ground, they need to put in the fill because of the new system, the fill gets graded down within 10 feet. Right now, the regulations are you can't use fill, ground, dirt to fill in within 10 feet of the property line, of a property line. If you need to do that, you need a variance that comes to us, and we discuss it, we either approve or not approve. So the biggest question, and maybe if you want to come up, and Kevin can walk you through this, on where you are in relation to where the system's coming in and where the fill.
What they're requesting, and
Sure.
how is it affecting us?
No, understood, and
Yeah,
that's actually why you're notified for
Yeah,
this, so you
yeah,
can
I know.
ask these questions.
Can't find it.
So I think you live over here on the corner of Countryside in
I
Newtown,
was looking for the.
right? You're in that house on the corner here?
Yeah.
So this is 2 Countryside here.
Yeah.
There's the house, the well is up in the backyard. And the septic system now is here in the front yard.
It was in,
So this is the house, so septic system's
This
right
is
here.
septic, yeah, here's
Okay.
Countryside Road.
Yeah.
There's the driveway comes up to the house.
Okay.
There's the big stone wall down the property line
Yeah,
here.
but they had a even.
So we did some soil testing, we dug test holes throughout the front yard here in the area where we were proposing to put the septic system. And we had indicators of groundwater, we had some modeling it varied a little bit, but it was right around 4 feet in that range. So the bottom of the system has to be 4 feet above the water table. So it's basically kind of sitting on the ground surface, but it's got to also be in the ground. So we put it on the grounds, build the new system, and then we got to cover it up. Because of the slope here, it makes it difficult to cover it up, because you've got to go out a certain amount level and then slope off.
It was reduction.
So this is kind of sitting on the ground surface, and then the fill over the top of it, we're basically burying it in the ground.
Okay,
That's what these contour lines are here, showing
thank you.
how the existing ground level is going to change. So it's being built up, it's getting pushed out, so the ground around the house is kind of flat, and then it slopes down to the front, to the street.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right, so you got the house
You,
sitting.
there will be deep slope, right?
Yeah, so here's the house up here now.
Yes,
The septic system right now is up in this area.
okay.
It's relatively, kind of flat in the front of the house, and then it drops off fairly steeply to Countryside Road here.
I see.
So we're putting the new system It's kind of out here.
Mhm.
So it's sitting on top of the ground, but now we've got to cover it up, so we're making a new slope like this,
Oh,
if that makes sense?
what is the variance? Give me limited knowledge.
What is what?
Because you are going to talk about the variance.
Yeah,
What
so,
is
so the,
variance?
so the town has certain rules and regulations, the state has rules that say, you can't drive your car 55 miles an hour, 65, right? You gotta stick to 55, that's the rule. Maybe you think you need to go 60. So you can come in and ask them, can I vary that, the rule? In this case, the town has a regulation that says this fill has to be at least 10 feet away from the lot line.
Oh,
And if you're less than that, then we come before the board.
So with
and
any-
ask,
any
and that's
sort
why
of-
you're notified, so that you can come in and hear what we're proposing, rather than it just kind of,
Yeah.
oh, what happened there? My
Yeah.
neighbor's got a new septic system, I didn't know.
So typically, people, the reason why butters are interested in changing when, and I think it's probably less of an issue out there, although I don't know the area very well, but we see a lot of people come in that need these variances, especially filled a lot line, because of how the system has to get put in and then covered, as has been pointed out. And what it does is it can change the contour of the land, and people are concerned then, how does that affect water runoff? Am I gonna have water running into my yard when it's heavy rain, et cetera? And so these are things we sort of try and consider, how the contour of the land and things like that. And so when people request that variance, they're looking for a variable, they need some variant off the regulations. And our regulations are 10 foot. You can't use fill to 10 feet of lot line. And that's just a standard number. And so now they need to go
A little bit over.
to within 10 feet.
You mean 10 feet from where to where 10 feet?
So anywhere on the lot
Is
so
that-
here's the lot line, kind of runs around, down the street, comes up the stone wall and up the side.
Yeah.
So this fill that's associated with the leaching area, if it's anywhere within 10 feet of the lot line, then we're required to notify all the abutters.
Okay.
So we're here, we're within 10 feet along the edge, the road, the property line along the front of the house. And I think we were 7 or 8 feet over here along the stone wall.
So basically, the grade coming from this property onto the adjoining properties is going to increase. There's going to be a little bit more of a
Higher.
slope, and that could affect the runoff. So by having a variance, we provide the opportunity for the abutters, we're glad you're here, to come in and tell us if you have concerns about that or not.
So,
Does that
I
make
mean,
sense?
It might
Yeah, yeah, I
happen to you.
mean, so actually, well, I have no idea. I mean, looks like they're doing things within the border. I was like, why we are here?
Oh, yeah. No, you wouldn't see
I saw the-
things that were happening onto your property.
Yeah, I thought something happening in my.
Yeah,
so,
Oh, no.
That we avoid at all costs.
okay. So I was like, trying to understand how.
No, just it's how it could affect your property, but
Okay. Yeah.
you said you're only coming up.
Yeah,
a couple
right
of feet,
here. We're
right?
here.
What, I'm sorry, and I was looking for this. What's the grade increase right here from,
So, let's see,
from
so-
original grade, from current grade?
It's probably, at the worst point, it's probably like 4.5 feet. So it varies depending
How it goes.
exactly where you are.
And within 10 feet of the property boundary, what's the increase?
Yeah, so we're back to original grade here, so,
No
probably
variance.
within 10, we're probably maybe a foot.
Okay.
That's it, you understand that? So you might come in front of us when your septic system fail, but you keep it clean.
Sure.
They're
Keep it
enacting.
clean.
So we're
Yeah, it's
active.
Oh, you're in
across
Acton?
this-
Yeah, we're active. I think our septic system is just right here too,
Yeah.
somewhere. So what could be affecting us? I mean, what might,
Again, if it changes the contour of the land sufficiently so that water
The water could be
runs
going-
off and then pools in your yard.
Yeah,
okay,
And when a heavy rain or something, if it's not draining,
wow.
if it doesn't drain properly.
so if you had flooding problems right now, it could make it worse.
Okay. Okay, I don't see, I mean, but I really like,
So you buy a boat in case it rains like it does in Florida, you know what I mean? Then you have a boat and
Oh,
you
you
can
just
get
call the
out.
Cajun Navy.
You go on vacation.
There you go.
So so basically you guys decide you are accepting the request or, okay.
They're still discussing that.
Well,
Yeah.
we're waiting for your input.
Yeah.
Do you have any concerns about it?
Because I have no idea. At first, I'm not quite understand this. So why I has to be,
Well,
well,
it was
they're
nice
doing
of
the
you to
things,
come.
you know, in their backyard or something, why I have to be in the hearing?
Yeah, nope, and this is how it would be done, because as an abutter, you might be, as a neighbor, you might be affected by this.
Yeah.
Or you might be concerned that you could be affected, so everybody's invited to this to be part of the discussion. Based on Massachusetts open meeting laws, it's open anyway, but neighbors, direct neighbors or abutters are specifically invited so that they can be part of the discussion to answer any questions or concerns, and occasionally, people have significant concerns, and we have to talk through them, that's part of the meeting. And almost always, we come to a reasonable conclusion and try and address anybody's concerns, whether it's, well, we have a, we can design a swale in here to direct water a specific way if we know that that's gonna be an issue, or et cetera. There's different things that can be do. It's, my guess is the biggest impact is down toward the road and less to the neighbor's side.
Right.
But if I'm interpreting this
Yeah, no.
correctly.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, because the grade basically along the property line's not changing.
Right.
It is, it's
Not to-
basically getting sent to the
Steeper.
same place it is, but that slope is getting carried out.
Yeah, that's how it looked like to me.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
Thank you, yeah, we're trusting you guys doing
all right,
good
well,
job.
we're doing it right. All right, thank you.
Thank you.
So I looked up Harwood,
Any more
and it was an upgrade.
It was an upgrade,
It was an
okay.
upgrade, and they needed a variance for groundwater offset. So it was actually a Title V
Oh, so it was a
variance
Title V,
rather
right.
than
Okay.
a fill. So in my mind, because I like to have clear boundaries so
Yeah,
that I
that's
can
Nope,
be
that's
consistent.
good guidance, yeah, okay.
That,
Thank you for coming.
there is a.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks. There is a difference, but if we do it here, we just have to remember that if somebody else comes in. And I think having the
People,
abutters
yeah.
come in and not
That's very important.
have an issue with it. I mean, if they had an issue, I probably would not approve it.
Well,
But since there aren't any issues, if, I'm interested in hearing
Well,
what you two
because they're
have to
changing the system,
think about
they
it.
just wanted to have another bedroom, you can't say no.
I think it's
We here to help
reasonable,
people.
we're not, again, we're
Yeah.
not it's not an effect
Yeah.
on Title
But I think
V.
we do have to be very cognizant because
Oh, yeah.
we were,
Well, we had
we held
plenty.
tight on that.
Yep.
Before you came
And it's
in
just-
vote, we had a lot of people like that.
Yeah, it
That
wouldn't
we
be
said,
right.
no, we can't do it.
Okay. Someone wanna read the
Okay?
variance
Like-
request?
Okay. Okay, seems like she's volunteering, that's good.
So we're talking about 2 Countryside Road on Civil Solutions Plan
Stamp.
dated September 25, 2017. Approvals required, variance requested from the Board of Health regulation to allow fill required to meet minimum breakout grading requirements within 10 feet of a property line.
And also from 4 to 3.
I'm sorry?
No? Okay.
No groundwater offset.
No groundwater.
No, that's why
offset.
we're giving it to them. If it
Oh,
was
yeah.
a groundwater offset, I would be voting no.
I don't
Okay.
think we could ask, well, the
Oh.
state variance at that point.
So,
That's good.
all right, so we have a motion to
Yeah,
approve, do we have a
second.
second? All right, we have a seconded motion to approve the variance, for, so we make sure, is this 2 Countryside?
Yes.
As written and read, all, in approval, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, is opposed? Okay, unanimously approved, thank you.
All right, thank you.
And that closes that hearing for 2 Countryside.
Mm.
And now I,
Did have one question if you had.
sure,
Shelley didn't send any permits over tonight, did she?
No.
Okay.
No.
So.
You have to go, you
Nothing
have
get signed tonight then?
no,
right.
Okay.
If you need it, I'll be here tomorrow, but you need 3 at least anyway, you know.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, so,
Okay.
I can't come tomorrow.
Yeah, just figured,
Yeah.
somebody was asking me.
yeah, she didn't mention
Twenty
anything.
Christina, that's why I was.
Yeah, she didn't
Okay.
mention to me whether she has any, to sign any.
she didn't,
Yeah.
when she didn't told you to get the key, she didn't
I-
have you anything? Okay.
Well, I do have the key.
No, but I mean, but when she
She
didn't
didn't say
anything
nothing about.
Okay, okay,
Permits, she didn't say nothing about permits.
No, that's okay. I
Because
just figured I'd
usually
ask
they
if
put
somebody's
them in-
gonna ask me.
Yeah,
Yep.
they usually put them in front of us.
Yeah, no, they're usually, Shelley's
Right,
usually gonna
then
buy
I-
them,
yeah.
yeah.
Oh, you got a lot done tonight.
Yeah, we did pretty good, didn't we?
You guys did all right yourself.
I'm trying to keep it
I'm
on
sorry
schedule.
about that.
Okay,
You have a
Right.
good day.
we're a little
Taylor.
bit late, but like to open the discussion on lots 5, 6, and 7, Fraser Street for Durkee Farm.
Okay.
Good evening. For the record, Brian
Good evening.
Goodrow with Hancock Associates, along with Chris
Hello.
Penrose.
How are you?
He's the owner. So, we were before you back a few months ago, discussing lot number 4 on Durkee Farm Estates with respect to Jim's perceived concern regarding groundwater elevations. And just to give you a little refresher and a little bit of background on this, Lot 4 is here. This is Foster Street, Grimes Lane, Balsam Lane, which is New Road, and Foster Street, or excuse me, Fraser Street. Lot 4, Lot 5, Lot 6, Lot 7, and then they keep going 9, 10, 11, 12, and on and on. We were here before you on Lot 4 previously to sign off on an occupancy permit regarding this same issue. Now, back in May, I think it was, there was a little bit of water, surface water, on the site. We had some standing water in this infiltration basin. About a third of this had a couple of tenths of water, and then there was, not a small amount that was by the Farmer's Pond area. And since those concerns were expressed to us with the town, we've had a number of meetings with conservation, a number of meetings with planning board. Our design with respect to drainage and just generally the subdivision has been peer reviewed by Green International. They've looked at the kind of situations that were going on. A second peer reviewer took a peek at the puddle that was over in this area here, and came to the same general conclusions that we did. And
Which was,
Which-
remind me again.
which was the standing water was an issue where the road actually blocked water from traveling overland in the
Worked as
meadow.
like a dam or
A little
something.
bit, a little bit.
Okay.
It created a bit of an impoundment, and what we did over the course of the summer is we actually dewatered that area with the expectation that it wouldn't fill back up because it was not a groundwater-related situation, and that proved to be correct.
Which was related to seasonal rain or something.
It was related to rain. I mean, to drill down on exactly what happened in that area, it's really tough to say. We started to notice water coming out of the winter months, nice wet spring. The entire site was pretty much unstabilized. We're in the midst of construction. Now it's kind of a different situation where we have yards and we have curbing, everything. Generally speaking, on Fraser Street has been constructed, and we're now shifting over into Spruce Street, which is phase 2. So specifically, tonight we're here for 5, 6, and 7, seeking the board to sign off on COCs. I believe Jim had issued some comments, and they were summarized that he still didn't feel comfortable signing off on them and wanted to.
What's the street on
board
that?
into it.
That's Fraser
This is
Street.
Fraser Street right here.
So let me just, I'll read Jim's, and maybe we can talk through Jim's comments specifically, because this seems pretty cut and dry, although I'm a little confused by Jim's comments. So we'll read through Jim's and sort of walk through it. That'll be my concerns or what I want to address, but I'm sure others will have other comments or additional. So on 5/9/17, you met with owner, attorney, and engineer for development regarding issuance of COC for Lot 4. I expressed concern regarding the surface water levels noted in the site and did not feel comfortable issuing certificates without additional testing to assess the groundwater elevations of lots 4 through 7. After that meeting, you agreed to issue the certificate for 4, but directed the owner to contact me to investigate the matter. A letter was sent by this office to the owner and the engineer summarizing your discussion with them at the meeting, but I have not been contacted to investigate the matter of the water table issue as of this date. The septic systems for 5 through 7 have been completed according to the originally permitted plans, and I believe the owner will soon be looking for the certificates of compliance for these lots. Since I haven't been contacted by the owner or engineer to investigate the water table on this site, I don't know if anything has been done to address the drainage system for the development, so I don't feel comfortable improving the certificate for these sites. I've directed the owner to speak with the board regarding approval of the certificate. So, I guess taking a step back, did Jim contact you guys and try and understand what's been done and it's not,
So
and Jim's
he-
not gotten back in touch with?
All right, so the first, this is the first mention of a letter that I've gotten out of Jim. I never received a letter. What we have done is we've followed all the Title V procedures on these systems. We fully excavated bed bottom, we called Neshoba. Neshoba came out and inspected the bed bottom. Now, if you recall, at the last meeting, what we had offered up was exactly that. And if at that time there was any indication of higher groundwater, of additional testing, but with the bed bottom and the 5-foot over excavation, I was really, didn't think that there would be a need for additional testing because it would be very evident when we expose the bottom where groundwater was. If you think about the site kind of in its entirety, groundwater is anywhere from 1.5 feet down to 3 feet, right around there, with staggered systems and flat bed bottom excavations. We expose redox. There's going to be a very significant hole because the ground has been brought up to finished grade or subgrade. So we would see evidence at that point in time on whether something had changed, and it's just, there was no indication of it.
Is there any way you can write a letter and send it to this office
With respect
with
to,
respect to the matter that we just spoke here? So Jimmy will, when he comes here on a Thursday, he will get it. And if he agree with it, what you said on the letter, then he might ask for a permit to be signed.
so,
You know what I'm saying? So
yeah,
then,
and I can understand that. Again, I'd like to really focus on the fact that Neshoba Associated Board of Health was on site, physically looked in the hole. I physically looked in the hole.
No,
and
no,
there
I
were no
understand.
issues, and it was
But whether-
doing it to
whether he was,
backfill.
whether he was not knowledgeable, I mean, if they went and Jimmy doesn't know about it.
Oh, Jim's there for at least 2 of these
So,
himself.
I-
So
I-
that's what me as the owner, I'm very confused by this whole thing. Like,
Yeah,
what
uh-huh.
additional testing would anyone
Right.
ever require
Confused,
more than a full bed bottom?
Yeah, yeah.
So I think that, I mean, there's obviously a discrepancy here, and unfortunately, we don't have Jim to, to talk it through. So I'm just not clear, and because he gives us the recommendations, and I apologize for this, because it sounds
Yeah.
like you guys have done your due diligence, but it seems that we need to, that we need to come to some
If you did-
conclusion with him.
If you just.
I mean, I think when I read his letter, he's deferring this matter to you. He's
In its
saying that
Do
he...
you have a letter from him?
Well, it's the letter that was just read.
It was
The one I-
the note
the
that
notes I
was just
just-
read, that he said he does not feel comfortable
Yeah.
just
And-
putting it on the board. Now, that is the same recommendation that he did on
Lot
Lot 4, where the board issued
Well, he's
the
also saying
certificate of
that
compliance.
He sent a letter, you didn't get it, I guess, and that you didn't hear anything back, so.
Regardless of the letter and the contents of the letter, the process is exactly the same. Like, what additional testing within the system could we possibly provide that we
Other
haven't
than-
already provided to the consultant?
We have sign-offs on 3 complete bed bottoms. That's what I'm confused by this whole thing, why he wouldn't sign off on this,
On
especially
5,
where...
you have sign-offs on 5, 6, 7?
Yes.
Yeah.
We have sign-offs on every
Yeah.
phase that's required to build a septic system.
And we don't know either.
So,
We understand, we've had some other challenges on this site, and like, for example, this farmer's pond here that seemed like the catalyst for this whole thing, like standing water on site, and Jim's there on site and he sees the water, well, what's going on with that? I think maybe the groundwater's rising, but, that's been proven by not only
I
our,
remember when you guys came, that's what I'm saying. I'm
not
so
just
proud.
our consultant, the town's consultant, and another consultant.
Yeah, so
Uh,
part of the thing is that you guys have been through a lot, and you've been there's been a lot of different parties involved, and we haven't been party to that. So, but Jim has, and Jim acts in our behalf. So at this point, we just have, an information gap here that I would feel like I need to fill before I'd be able to
so
vote on it.
So when you were walking us through this earlier, you talked about that you had others come in, the sites were peer reviewed. There was
So
also-
our drainage was independently reviewed by Green
Right.
International, and they, validated our assumptions, our designs, things of that nature. This specific area where there was a little bit of water ponding, Green International weighed in on it, Geo Insight weighed in on it, which is another independent peer reviewer.
And what's the lot next to that pond?
7 would be the closest.
7 was the
7,
closest.
and that's the one, okay.
So, if you take a look at lot
So I'm
7.
looking at, sorry, I can't get the privacy screen out, so it can be difficult, but that's the pond you're talking about right up there?
It is
basically?
no longer there.
Yeah, well,
Correct.
so, that's a farmer's pond right
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
Depicted here.
Yeah,
It's that small
basically,
area.
and then that house next to it would be 7?
That's 7, well, that's lot number 765.
Yeah, okay, okay. So do you have the documentation with you on
On,
Green International's review and, or even other so
what specifically?
I don't know, in the absence of Jim here, in the absence of Jim, so Jim, I'm not sure where Jim's coming from. And in the absence of Jim being able to be here and be a little bit more clear, if you had, I'd be more comfortable with documentation that the additional work has been reviewed, the plans have been reviewed, in addition to Neshoba Board of Health reviewing and signing off.
And it sounds like it's a big, complicated story that there have been a lot of people involved with, but
Yeah.
we're not
But I'm
those
confused,
people.
I'm confused about a letter not getting, and
Yeah.
you didn't get a letter either then?
I don't know if we did, so I have a partnership with.
You're
Dave Guthrie.
representing
I-
the total ownership?
No, I'm a 50% owner
Oh, okay.
in the subdivision. My partner's Dave Guthrie. I actually do the physical building, the field work. He's more of the inside guy. He's got a medical issue right now, that's why he's not here
Oh,
tonight.
so he
I figured
might
I
have
would come.
gotten
He may have gotten the letter.
So we
But
just need to track it down.
if you look at his notes and what the letter is saying, it's basically saying additional testing's required. So what we felt like, if we opened up the entire bed bottom and said, hey, come on out and take a peek at this, what else would you want to look at?
And that might
You know, do
be,
you-
that might be the case. It might be,
Well, that's why I'm wondering if you have documentation of the testing and the
but the
results.
testing answers
So,
a question, and we
yeah,
don't
we-
even have what
The-
the question was.
Right, so, all the testing that was conducted, is on the plans, and that was witnessed by Jim Greffy back in 2016. And if you take a look actually at Lot 7 very specifically, there is 3 rounds of testing that were conducted on that lot. We had originally proposed, if you wanna look at it,
So turn the air conditioning off.
Getting warmer now?
It's not like a refrigerator anymore.
yeah, it's tough to see, but essentially, we had dug holes here, and we had dug holes kind of in a line.
What were you looking for? I'm just curious.
What's that?
What were you looking for when you're digging the holes?
Estimated seasonal high groundwater and textural analysis, so it's the basis of the septic design, essentially, figure out what the
Oh,
underlying
okay, so this
soils
is just,
are.
okay,
This is strictly,
the preliminary geotech before you did the development.
no, this is the witnessed official soil testing for the septic systems on this site.
Yep, okay.
So on lot 7, we did 3 rounds of testing. We tested the front of the lot, and we ended up testing in kind of a line where the septic system ended up. And upon review of the design, Jim asked that we go back out there and dig on the opposite side of the system, because he just wanted to make sure and verify
Did you do
that
that?
it was, and we did that. So within this system, we have 6 deeps and 3 perks, when only 4 and 2 are required.
Does he know you did that?
It's right on the plan, absolutely.
no.
And
Does he know?
He
He witnessed
witnessed
them.
them. He was
Okay.
out there with me.
Okay, Mr. Chairman, can I have your permission to speak a little bit?
Yeah,
about-
absolutely, absolutely.
I feel bad, I can go tomorrow at the office, because these 2 ladies and gentlemen work. I am very fortunate that I don't have to work tomorrow. So I can go to the office, give them the key, okay? And I mentioned, would you just draft a couple of words that you were here and tell them exactly what the situation is about the number 7, am I correct? And
Well, I think it's 5, 6,
Is it
and
5?
5, 6, and 7.
6,
Yeah.
and 7.
why don't you write that, and you were here, and he'd be here Thursday, and I will ask him, if you gave me your telephone number, and he can get in touch with you right pronto, without you coming back every 2 weeks. It won't be fair. Just give me something so I can give it to him, and that you came in front of us, but according to what he says.
Gino, he'll have this. He doesn't need them to, Jim reviews every meeting we have,
No, I know.
the tape, so I don't think we need that.
You don't need that, so.
I don't think so.
So what do you think
I
we
don't
should
even,
do?
We
I'll
just
try
need
to
to
help
touch
him.
base with them and find out what's going on and then solve the problem. Get it over with.
Well, let me ask you this, and I don't know the procedure, right? So you guys have a card of some sort, right, that requires, a signature for a bed bottom and
Right,
a
right.
signature for the rim cover and all the different components that you have on a septic system. Jim reviews all that stuff, or somebody in your office does, and signs off and says it either meets Title V or it doesn't.
Right, right.
If all of that stuff meets Title V, and the mere fact that, Jim has been concerned about other water on the site, I don't understand why we would be held up any further on
me too.
these
I'm
systems. We have an ongoing situation that we're working to remedy, but, nothing, I don't think, would say, geez, in an adjacent parcel of land, that has a water issue, how does that affect Lot 7 or Lot 12 or Lot 22? It has nothing to do with it.
And I think the key point is the fact that we went through all of the proper procedures, and he or a representative from his office was physically on site and put eyes on the entire bottom of the septic
So we
system.
just want to make sure we get the okay from Jim,
Yeah.
Mr. Chairman? The
Well, no, I mean, so we're allowed to give the okay.
No.
We don't have to, Jim doesn't give the okay. We
I
give
know.
this, Jim can back
He's
it or
like-
not.
He was concerned, that's what I'm
But
saying.
this
yeah.
is-
Yeah, I
isn't-
agree with you, Gino.
But this wasn't,
Yeah,
I don't,
for sure.
so I just don't understand why he's concerned, because this seems
Yeah.
pretty straightforward to me. I mean, I understand what you're saying. I don't understand what Jim's concern is on this.
I'm a layperson in terms of septic systems. If we have every signature, and I just don't understand
Yeah,
how
I-
a permit can be held up any longer. Like, one of these is very time sensitive, Lot 6. We have a closing coming up.
When is the
going-
closing on that?
The closing is October 26th,
Okay.
and we need to get that paperwork
So-
to
so
the
this
banks the
isn't
week
a-
before.
Just sort of clarify the process, as I understand it. It would be nice if Shelley was here, but as I understand, this isn't a hearing, right? So this isn't
No.
a board approval per se. This is just us signing off on the certificate of
Correct.
compliance. So we don't need to come back or anything like this. So given that, I think we can remedy this offline.
I can,
So what I can do, I can get a hold of Jim tomorrow and talk with him, talk through this and try and understand this and
see
move.
what he says, right?
I want to understand what he's trying to say, and then we can move this relatively quickly forward so you can meet this timeline of the closing for that. And what lot was that specifically?
That is Lot 6.
6?
Lot 6.
And what's the timing on 5 and 7 then?
5 is right behind it, and 7, we do not have a contract with
You don't-
7.
Okay.
So 7 is the least sensitive, 5 and 6, then 5, then 7. So
Yeah.
6, 5, 7
Okay.
would be the order that we would need to sign offs on.
Okay,
Well, all of these systems have been, I have to think about this. Lot 6 was done first, then it was Lot 7, and then it was Lot 5 would be the one that was done. But all of them, we have grass growing on all of these things.
Yeah,
They've
and-
been in the ground for a while.
and the additional testing or review that you've talked about was performed after that May 9th meeting with us?
No, so we haven't had any witness testing outside of bed bottom inspections, so physically going out there and checking the
Yeah.
entirety of the bottom of the system. We
Right.
haven't conducted any deep hole tests.
Once again, being a layperson in this, what other testing would be required?
Well,
Would we
I-
do a deep hole in the backyard where we're not
Right.
doing the system? I
Right.
mean, it just doesn't make sense.
The kind of the point that I wanted to make about Lot 7 is the fact that there's 6 deeps and 3 perks. We did the original additional testing upon review of the design that Jim wanted on that lot. So it's not like we haven't been responsive to any of the needs coming out of Neshoba. And we've gone through and checked off all the boxes in construction of these systems, and now we're looking for occupancies of the building, and the systems are in the ground. Additional testing has to fall within the footprint. the system's constructed. We can't do additional testing within the footprint.
So you make, Mr. Chairman, you make the call tomorrow, I'll be here tomorrow, and then by Thursday, we should have an answer so they can come and get, I'll sign the certificate, and you guys have to come and help me out.
So Gina, well, that's the other question I had. So
Yes, sir.
you have more experience on the board on this. For the certificate of compliance, what is required for signatures? Again, just a quorum
Yeah,
of, so
Just
we'd
two.
need 3.
yes, that's it.
Okay. All right, and so, all right.
You can come on this.
Well, so Shelley, and what Shelley has done when she's just needed my signature on something, or I've been the last one, she has emailed it to me,
Yeah.
I've printed it, signed it, and then scanned it and sent it back to her. So we certainly can, we can
wiggle.
accelerate it, we
Yeah.
don't have to, wait for
No, you-
individuals to come back.
Right,
We
right.
can certainly do it electronically. She also will take approval via email, I think.
I don't know what my schedule is this week, probably.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure I could
like I
before
said,
Friday.
I'll be here tomorrow, and Thursday I'll be here. I put my first signature, and then you guys get in touch. And
I
then
think we
we'll
can
get-
figure it out. We
it's
just
not-
need to
Not
find
right,
out
they
what-
come back another 2 weeks, I feel bad for them. But at least we know that we're going by the process. You understand that, right?
I understand there's
So
some concerns.
instead of
like-
having
like
it,
I say,
instead
if
of
I-
having
like,
something
but-
tonight, you'll have it in 2 days, how's that?
And I think you guys are great. It's just, I don't understand the,
No,
you know, we have to pay an engineer to come out here tonight
No,
to
no,
come
no,
to this
I-
meeting.
We don't want you to come here.
And,
We don't want you to
and if I told you what we've been through on the pond issue and the tens of thousands of dollars that we've spent on re-engineering and paying
No.
extra consultants, I actually feel like we're being held to a higher standard here for some reason. I don't know why, but that's how I
Everything
feel.
what you say,
And who's requested, trying to remind me, a thousand things happen between
Well,
here and May. Is
so
it the planning board or?
Standing, yeah, planning board, standing operating procedure is that we hire an engineer, the town has their own peer review engineer, we pay
Yeah.
for them.
Right,
And
right.
never is it, well, let's get a third one, we don't like either of those opinions, let's find another one. I mean, it's
Okay.
crazy. It's
Okay.
almost
What you
borders on.
So the planning board asked you to do additional work?
Somebody did. Like I said, Dave handles that more than
Yeah,
me.
okay,
So
okay.
sometimes when this stuff gets explained to me, much like you guys are here tonight, I'm like, I don't understand this. Help me out.
I've been in construction for 38 years, and I've done this stuff. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
The question is, sometime we have to be in compliance with everybody's mind to say, you know what I mean? Let's do this way, and everybody agreed to it. But we gotta go through this.
So the bottom line is, just so I can recapitulate back to Jim, the bottom line is, since the May 9th meeting,
The
no
main-
additional work, or at least testing has been done, or evaluation?
Well,
We went
other than
through-
exposing a complete bed bottom, right, and building a system and having the entire.
No,
thing
I'm not
inside.
saying what
Yeah.
could be done, I'm saying, has anything been done?
No.
No, okay, that's, I just want to make sure I understand.
We
No,
haven't
no,
conducted any
yeah,
official
and that's what I
testing.
thought, I understood you guys are saying, but that's what I mean. So no additional work is done, there hasn't been anybody coming on site. The evaluation by Neshoba Board of Health and by Jim or others from that office was done prior to the discussion we had on the 9th of May.
No. So these bed bottom inspections were done a month ago.
Well, I think more than a month
6
ago.
weeks
So
ago?
since, what do you say
So
the
it
date is,
is
May 9th?
May 9th, so,
After that.
so, okay,
Oh,
then,
absolutely.
okay, that's a different, so
Yes, yes,
that's,
yes.
that, the answer to my question was yes.
So these bed bottoms were exposed after
Yeah.
that.
Okay,
that
So I
So-
believe on May 9th, we were here for a sign-off on this lot 4.
Yes,
And-
yes.
And that happened, you
And
guys
that
signed
happened,
off on
but there
that.
was concern, and we said, maybe
So,
work with Jim and
And
the
we
Neshoba
had
Board of Health.
committed to exactly what the process that we.
so what, the process that happened was we built 3 systems, 1, 2, 3, and we had all of the
Full-
inspections, full bed bottom inspections. We did
So-
open them
so-
up since that time.
Since that
So,
meeting.
so frankly, I'm gonna just point out, I don't think we need to talk to Jim about this.
Oh,
They've
yes.
done what he's asked. I mean,
I'm
No.
not comfortable because
Right.
of what he's written
Yeah.
here, so I just need to.
I think
hear
a
it
call would be fine,
Yeah.
and then we'll get it done pronto. Do we have one of these? Can we keep one of these?
Sure.
Okay, why
So
don't we
can-
keep this?
What were the dates
So-
of the the
You know,
inspections.
so we probably build one of those systems, maybe it's every 7 to 10 days or something like that. So during the course of a month, we built all 3 of those systems sometime after that May 9th.
But you must have the dates of which these inspections took
Are they on
place.
there?
They were on site.
It would be on the cards.
On that sign-off card.
Yeah, that are in the Board of Health office.
So you, but
Um,
what's
I
the?
don't put those dates directly.
I
on
wish
the-
Shelley was here. I wish she was available to make these meetings. What would be the general timeframe, just so I could talk?
June, July,
Um,
because we're in October right now.
Oh, do you have a phone number? Can you put it down here? What's your name too, please?
I bet I could dig up the bills from the, you know.
If I just had a general timeframe, so I could talk to Jim about that. I
July,
don't-
August. I would
July,
say.
August.
It's not
I
more than
believe,
2
I believe
months,
it's
don't
July
think.
and August too.
Yeah.
It was hot out and it was dry out. You know.
Yeah.
Well, that was a
okay.
long time ago if it was dry.
Well, August was a dry month. I do remember that. So, okay. So I'll talk to Jim.
I
And I'm
guess,
trying to understand, because frankly, given now what you just said, I'm even more confused why Jim is,
all the
It
sign-offs.
it wasn't
for
like
these
that
two
May
systems
9th,
are after
that the bed bottoms were inspected before then and the sand was
No,
in place,
right.
right?
So that was the clarification,
Right, so
okay.
after May 9th, right, July, August, we opened up these systems and said, well, hey, what better testing can you have than to open an entire bed bottom?
So he had already expressed his concerns on lot 4 and then visited whichever lots he visited, whether it was 5, 6, and 7, 5 and 7, 6 and 7. That was after that
I
first
thought,
letter.
I was there personally the day that he inspected 7, and when I tell you, I mean, he's very thorough. He jumped
Oh,
in the
yeah.
hole, he was on his
I
hands
know,
and
I know,
knees, he
yeah.
went up one side of that system and down the other. In fact, I've never seen anything like it.
Does a good job.
He does do a good job.
When
Okay.
you call, you'll be able to answer them right away? Of
course.
Okay.
So just one further point of clarification. What if Jim still says he's not gonna sign off
Well,
according to this?
Depends on what his concern is. I mean, we'll have to
we'll
just
find
figure it.
out, we'll
find
find out
out.
one way or the other, because you gotta get the job done, okay? So let's see what happens. I'm sure that he's gonna be very thorough to a point where he's gonna try to please you to a point where you say, oh, I think they've done okay, you know what I mean? But that is what we need to go through. And, I went through like you did. I went through
are
that
there,
stuff.
are there other questions?
That's it. You
No.
call them. If you don't have a chance to call, I'll call them tomorrow. You call them and let them know that I'm gonna be at the office and Michelle should be able to understand that I gave them the card and that the gentleman came.
Yeah.
And they were concerned about number 6, am I correct?
Well, 6 and 6.
Six and
It's
five,
on his
really,
notes, so-
would be the.
Well,
Oh,
the
you mean
lots
the
are
one
5.
coming up
The-
first?
The
Yeah,
6
sorry.
and is most critical, 5's right behind it.
Is my number in case you need
Thank
that
you,
too.
thank
My
you.
cell phone's right on there and email, everything.
All right.
All right. Thank you for coming.
Thanks for your time, appreciate
All right.
it.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
have a good
Don't
evening.
get upset tomorrow and
I thought you said don't
Thursday.
get up.
Don't get upset.
Yeah, don't get up. Right.
Don't get upset.
We'll see you, have a good
Good
night.
luck, and good luck. I feel bad for crying out. Unbelievable. I think that's all we got left. And,
So, yeah, I just don't understand what,
Should we adjourn and turn the TV off?
no, and not talk further? No. We can adjourn, but then we're not discussing this anymore.
Okay,
no.
That's-
I
So,
make a motion to adjourn?
second.
all in favor of adjourning, say aye.
Aye.
All right.
Can you press the button?